Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Today I'm continuing my series on using AI to read comic books. In previous episodes, I used ChatGPT and the Meta Ray-Bans. ChatGPT did a great job and the Meta Ray-Bans not so much. Today we're going to be trying the Be My Eyes app and specifically Be My AI. We're also switching it up, and today we're going to be reading a couple pages in ElfQuest, and specifically Book 7, The Cry from Beyond. All right, I'm just going to open up to a random page here, and let's see how it does. Now, I'm going to give a quick prediction. The way that Be My AI works is it's going to take a photo, and then it's going to describe what it sees. We can then go in and ask the follow-up questions. This is where I don't think this is going to be the best option for this, because we're going to have to wait for it to describe everything before we can go in and give it the prompt to read it to us as if it was narrating an audiobook. The tricky part is holding the page down so that it can get a good scan without blocking anything. All right.
Comic book page showing a scene in a forest at night. On the left page, there are several panels featuring characters who appear to be elves and wolves. One of the elves has white hair and wears a blue and white outfit with a helmet, while another has blonde hair and tan clothing. The dialogue includes a character calling out, "Hey, why yip?" as a wolf leaps through foliage. Another elf says, "And who says the forest is safe at night?" "Clear out," as loud howls AAOWL erupt. The characters look surprised and worried, with one urging, "Hurry." At the top of the page above the comic, there is a large keyboard with very large keys showing white letters on black backgrounds.
Okay, it started talking about the keyboard, so we skipped that part. But it actually did a pretty good job of describing the page and kind of giving an overall idea of what was going on. But now I want to go in and ask it to narrate this comic book to me as if it was like reading an audiobook. Please narrate this comic book to me as if you were reading an audiobook. All right, let's see if that works.
A dark, leafy forest is lit by the moon. A white-haired elf rides quickly through the underbrush on the back of a large wolf. Suddenly, a call breaks the silence. "Hey, why yip?" The elf calls, urging the wolf to move faster. The wolf bounds through the brush, its muscles tense. Off to the side, two more elves watch with concern as the first elf and wolf dart past. The blonde-haired elf grins and says, "And who says the forest is safe at night?" "Clear out." The white-haired elf, eyes wide with worry, mutters, "Son." Then a deep, haunting howl rises from the darkness. AAOOWLL. A burst of light radiates through the trees, and the elves turn to look. "Gabri!" shouts the white-haired elf. The intensity of the howls grows louder. AAAOWW. The wolves and elves bristle with anxiety. The blonde elf laughs. "Come on, hang all." One elf says, "It's that other wolf pack's nightly challenge." The white-haired elf answers, "Sounds like they mean it this time." The wolves gather, and the elves quickly climb onto their backs. "Hurry!" one shouts as the wolves dart off into the moon-dappled forest, ready to meet the challenge and whatever the night may bring.
Okay, that was really good also. That did a really good job of taking all of the different panels, comic book panels, and putting them all together and using that sequence to build out the story and describe it. Even the part where, the elves and the wolves were bristling with anticipation, I'm sure they somehow visually showed that in the comic book, but the AI was able to recognize that and represent it as I'm sure the artist intended. Okay, hold on. Future Sam here. As I'm editing this video here, I see that it wasn't as perfect as I originally thought. It actually missed an entire speech bubble in the third panel and then added one to the fifth panel. So that's a bit of a problem, but it's not the only one. After I posted my video where ChatGPT read the comic book, some eagle-eye viewer noticed that ChatGPT also messed up and mistranslated or transcribed
transcribed, translated. I don't know which one would apply here, but it's screwed up also. So I think we're discovering that these aren't as perfect as we had hoped.
The only problem is, like I said before, you have to take a picture and wait for the description first. I mean, I guess you could take a picture and then as it starts talking, quickly push the button to give the prompt. But it's not really set up for speed and convenience using Be My AI. We got a great result, but there's a better way to do this utilizing ChatGPT, where you could set up a prompt to say, like, I'm going to take a series of photos and I want you to describe each of the photos as if you were reading an audiobook. So you could set up this like master prompt to then go in and take a bunch of photos and then just sit back and listen to the story. But something else to mention is that the free plan, you're limited on how many images you can upload, so you would definitely need to have a paid plan. All right, guys, so that was using Be My AI to read a comic book. Let me know what you want me to test out next time. Maybe Copilot, maybe Gemini, maybe, what is it, Perplexity, I think is the other one. I don't know. Let me know. Thanks, guys, for watching Sam with a Blind Life. I'll see you next time.